Imagine for a moment, standing before the greatest war machine humanity has ever known. The metallic sound of swords echoes, trumpets vibrate through the air, and thousands of sandals strike the ground in unison, like the heartbeat of a living monster. In the year 105 AD, Rome was not just a city, it was the center of the world, ruled by Trajan at the height of his glory, expanding like an empire that seemed invincible. But behind the marble columns and the flawless roads, there was a hidden cost. And that cost was paid in blood, sweat, and iron discipline by the men who dared to wear the armor of the legions. Now, place yourself there. You are not a senator, not a noble. You are just a young peasant, born in a forgotten village, perhaps in the dusty fields of Campania or along the silent banks of the Tiber. A sign before you reads, "Enlistment open for the legion, authorized by the Senate and the people of Rome." In the background, red standards flap in the wind and soldiers march, as if forged from steel. At this instant, your ordinary life may vanish forever. If this scene already made you imagine the weight of Roman sandals striking the ground and the knot in the stomach of a mere peasant facing destiny, then this video is for you. Hit the like button right now, because every bit of your support keeps this history alive and helps more people uncover the hidden secrets of the Roman Empire. Subscribe and ring the bell so you won't miss the upcoming episodes. Together, we will dive ever deeper into the battles, betrayals, and glories that shaped the world. Tell me, which part of this journey would you face without retreat? Write it in the comments. I want to know how far you would go. You approach the selection table. 3 men stand there, a centurion with a cold stare, a military doctor observing every detail, and a scribe ready to record your fate. No smiles, no encouragement, only sharp commands and eyes scanning every part of your body as if evaluating a beast of burden. The first barrier is the physical inspection. Minimum height of 1.70 meters, upright posture, strong teeth, healthy skin, sharp hearing, and a body without deformities. A crooked leg, a suspicious scar, or even foul odor could seal your immediate rejection. Rome wanted no burdens. It wanted functional cogs for its war machine. But the selection did not stop with the body. Next, the centurion fires quick questions. Where are you from? What trade did you learn? Hunting, forging, writing, calculation? Even your mood and quickness of response are judged. The Roman army was not mere brute force. It was a machine of precision, and every new part had to fit seamlessly. A glance exchanged among the evaluators, a note scribbled on parchment, and then the decisive gesture. You are accepted. The silence breaks when you are led before the image of Emperor Trajan, not as a mere man, but as a living deity. Alongside dozens of recruits, you kneel, raise your right hand, and place the left over your chest. Then you pronounce the sacramentum, the solemn oath of absolute loyalty to Rome and to the emperor. It is more than a promise, it is a sacred pact. From that moment on, disobedience will not be simple insubordination. It will be treason against the very heart of the empire. The spiritual and political weight of that vow falls upon you, turning your life into property of Rome. But right after the oath comes what seems like a reward, an initial payment in silver coins, the viaticum. Many rejoice, buying wine, clothes, rings, celebrating as if already true soldiers. Yet the bitter truth soon appears. Every piece of equipment, every meal, every sandal will be deducted from that sum. The bonus is not a gift, it is a trap. You realize, even at the start, that Rome gives nothing for free, not even the honor of serving. Before sunrise, you are awakened by sharp orders. No welcome, no time for adjustment, only the first march. 30 kilometers of uneven terrain, loose. Stones, slopes tearing at your legs. On your back more than 30 kilos, shield, helmet, sword, spears, dried rations, tools, stakes, and a share of the tent you will divide with 7 others. At every step, Your body pleads for rest, but the command is clear. No man left behind. And when the march ends, there is no relief. Now comes swimming. Yes, crossing rivers with armor on, shield strapped to your back, learning to keep formation even in icy water. The logic is brutal. If you cannot cross a river, you will never see the battlefield. Blisters turn into open wounds. Hands bleed from hauling stones. Hunger burns your stomach, and exhaustion becomes permanent. Slowly you understand. Rome is not simply training soldiers. It is eliminating the weak and forging machines of war. When at last they put a sword in your hands, you expect gleaming steel, but no. What you receive is a wooden replica, heavy, clumsy, made for exhaustion. The reasoning is cruel yet simple. If you master this brutal weapon, a real sword will feel light as air. Hour after hour, you repeat the movements. Slashes, thrusts, shield turns, position shifts. Every strike must be lethal, because the straw dummies before you are not for training. They represent enemies who must die. Then come formation drills, shoulder to shoulder, shield against shield, advancing like a living wall. A crack in the line and not only your life is at risk, but everyone's. The fear of failing hurts as much as the physical strain. Then come the projectiles, the pilum, heavy and designed to bend after piercing an enemy shield, and the sling, hurling stones with skull-crushing force. Here, even practice is deadly. But being a legionary is not only about fighting. You soon discover that the daily war is fought with shovels, picks, and axes. Every day means digging ditches, drainage trenches, latrines, channels, and wooden fortifications. The camp must be built and dismantled over and over, like a choreography of survival. Before eating or sleeping, you and your comrades raise a palisade, hammer stakes, build makeshift walls. Rome never sleeps exposed. The routine is exhausting, but it reveals a silent truth. The empire is not sustained by shining swords, but by the relentless labor of common men. Survival also demands improvisation. Wounds are treated on the field, splints fashioned from branches, crude stitches, red-hot iron to cauterize. No one sings the name of the soldier who dug 100 trenches, but without him, the army does not advance. And if it does not advance, it does not conquer. In this anonymity of sweat and pain, the gears of Rome turn ceaselessly, unseen by senators who speak and poets who write. Gradually, you realize that the legion values more than muscles. Those who can read or write hold invisible power. Most soldiers barely sign their own names, but if you master words and numbers, hidden doors open. Officers watch discreetly, and soon a new role may appear. Librarian, recording orders and reports. Cornicularius, assistant 2. The centurion, handling payments and punishments, or even actuary, distributing supplies and deciding who eats, how much and when. These posts require no sword in hand, but they demand a sharp mind, detail-oriented attention, and calm under pressure. Prestige and pay are greater, and the path to a better life beyond war becomes possible. In Rome, sometimes a pen was worth more than a gladius. At nightfall, you return not to a room, but to a leather tent shared with 7 other men, the contubernium. This small group becomes your family. Together you share bread, water, stories, and the heavy silence of midnight. You march side by side, labor to exhaustion, tend each other's wounds, and learn that survival depends on unity. If one fails, all pay. If one excels, all reap the reward. In this intense coexistence, leaders begin to emerge. The one who solves problems, organizes supplies, and keeps the group cohesive catches the eye of the superiors. Slowly, the chance to rise comes to become an optio, the centurion's right hand. The title of optio is only the first step. If you show discipline, courage, and reliability, you may reach the most coveted rank for a commoner, centurion, no longer leading just a line, but commanding 80 men who obey your voice as law. You are the first to advance and the last to retreat. You bear the vites, the staff of command that symbolizes authority, but also responsibility. With it, you lead and punish, teach and correct. The centurion is the true heart of the legion, warrior, judge, administrator, mentor. Your name inspires respect, your presence imposes order. Yet the fate of this rank is grim. The centurions fall first when battles turn bloody. Still, all aspire to reach it, for it is the highest glory a common man can achieve. Above this rank, the steps are reserved for the elite, tribunes, legates, prefects, young nobles who often never bore the weight of a sword. Rome's meritocracy existed, but with invisible limits. And those limits reminded all that blue blood still decided who ruled. Decades pass since that day when you stood in a simple tunic before the recruitment post. Now your back bears scars and your stance commands respect. As a veteran, you may receive land, full citizenship, and a lifelong pension from the aerarium militare. Some return to their villages unrecognizable. Others settle in Roman colonies, helping maintain order. But many never go back, finding in the camp the only home they ever knew. The truth is that the empire was not sustained by emperors and senators alone, but by countless anonymous men who marched, dug, built, and bled without their names being remembered. Now that you know this journey, the question is inevitable. Would you have the courage to enlist in a Roman legion? Tell me in the comments how long you think you would last. Hit like, share this video, and subscribe to the channel for more real stories of ancient Rome. Rome rose with swords, but it survived on common men.